Welcome back, everyone, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. With me, as always, we got Brian and Philip in the house. How's it going, guys?
So,
Bueno. Yeah, good.
Have y'all been able to sneak any horror movies in between all this football we're talking about and everything else going on?
the other question is, did I sneak any football with all this horror stuff going in?
I know.
It's a big month. Big month. Lots going on.
I'm
Lots
sure I
going
did,
on.
but I couldn't tell you what I watched this week. So I'll let you guys jump in with Cool of the Week first before I get
fuck.
into
All right.
it.
You want to start, Brian? Because I got to struggle to find mine too that we're not going to talk about later.
I
I
can't
got a
remember what I watched.
movie. I got a movie and another show. The show
All right.
is another Peacock original, and it's called
Okay.
Hysteria. It's set during the
All
time
right.
of the Satanic Panic era in the 80s.
Okay.
How have I not heard about this?
I-
This sounds great.
It sounds familiar.
And the premise of the show is this high school kid gets kidnapped. A lot of people in the town think it has something to do with satanic cults because the whole satanic panic thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And
sure.
there's this band. They decide to take advantage of all the satanic talk and change their metal band into a satanic metal band, which by doing that makes them kind of number one suspects in the kidnapping.
Uh-oh.
And you said it's a series, right?
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
So is it like, are they all up at once, or is it one where you gotta, like wait a week for every episode, or what?
When I talked about Teacup a couple weeks ago, that was going week to week, but I think Satanic Panic, or not Satanic Panic, Hysteria
Hysteria
is all up there. So,
all right, I am
and
adding it to my
friend of the show,
my
Bruce Campbell, is
cricketly
in
gro-
it.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Oh.
can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of other recognizable faces in there. So,
I just
And-
added it to my ever expanding watch list.
and the movie I checked out was I've talked about this director a bunch of times. I'm probably going to mispronounce his name again, and that's Timo Tjahjanto. He did the cult segment in VHS.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
He's
Great
done a lot
segment.
of great violent action movies. He's supposed to be doing the Train to Busan remake. He just finished wrapping up. He's directing Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk.
Okay.
And he just had a new Netflix movie come out called The Shadow Strays.
Okay. Now he didn't do the first Nobody though, did he?
No, that was one of the John Wick guys.
Okay. All right. So they're in good company then. It sounds
Yeah.
like they're kind
But
of
it's
of
still
the same ilk.
it's still those guys are like on as producers. It's just Timo's directing the sequel this time.
I kind of like that idea. Philip, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
They're
think
probably
so.
all into martial arts, and I'm sure they keep a very safe, set, right? Because I'm sure they're all used to a lot of stunt work and whatnot, so they're probably like super cautious, I would imagine.
Those guys used to all be stunt workers.
So that's match made in heaven.
Yeah.
That's the perfect people for it. So it makes a lot of sense.
The Shadow Strays, I won't spoil anything, but if the first 10 minutes don't sell you on it, then you're not going to be into it, because the first 10 minutes is a Japanese crime lord. I think it's Japanese because it kind of looks like the Yakuza.
Okay.
Gets taken out by a 17-year-old assassin. Some decapitations, a lot of gun fu and sword play, a lot of violent stuff. So if the first 10 minutes doesn't sell you, then you're probably not going to be into it. But if you've seen his films before, a lot of great choreography, a lot of violent action, a lot of gore.
All right.
So
Yeah, sounds right up our alley, Philip.
Yeah, I like it.
that one's called The Shadow Strays, and it just came on Netflix last Friday.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
I
man.
have not
All
seen
right.
that yet.
I think I saw the box art for it, like when I was scrolling through Netflix. The Shadow Strays. All right, so you got that. You got Hysteria.
Yeah, that's it. Still trying to catch up on
That's a lot. Okay. Well, let's put them both down, man. What do you think? Are we okay to put them both under Cool of the Week in our description?
We can do whatever we want.
They both sound pretty cool. All right, I found one. While
Okay.
Philip struggles. Okay.
I think I figured it out too.
All right, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, guys. This dude is in fucking everything all of a sudden. A child actor who's like he's kind of a big name star now. It's like every time I turn around I see him in something. But there's a new movie on Prime called Killer Heat. Have you guys heard of this one?
Is this like a heist movie?
It's not a heist movie. It is, and this is what I liked about it.
Is he a cop?
You've even got like, well, you've even got the voiceover. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like a private investigator.
Okay.
And he gets hired. Yeah, he gets hired by a lady who's, I guess, it's a very complicated, super rich family. But basically, like, she is the sister-in-law of the dude that allegedly fell off a cliff accidentally, doing like, what do they call it? Y'all know what I'm talking about, when they just climb up without any gear and everything.
Like free climbing or something?
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I'm pretty sure like all of those guys die at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one, she thinks it's a murder, and then, of course, you find out everyone is not who they think they are. But what I loved about it is it was just like those old Philip Marlowe detective stories, or those old 1940s and 1950s, the gumshoe, kind of like the Roger Rabbit thing, right? Where it's like the guy's sitting there, he's got a bottle of whiskey in his desk, and then the dame walks in, and it's just so retro and old school. It really felt nice. It was refreshing. It was like going back in time. And Jake Gordon-Levitt, man, he's got some acting chops. The dude can pull it off. He definitely convinced me that he was a burnt out alcoholic private investigator. And yet he still solved the crime, of course.
I like him in just about everything I've seen him in. I can't think of a bad movie.
I can't either, man. I can't either. So Killer Heat, it's free if you have Prime.
There you go.
No streaming is free anymore. We talked about that last week, but
Tubi still.
Yeah, hey, with Prime at least you get the shipping, right?
Yeah.
Free shipping.
Knock on some wood here.
All right. You ready, Philip? You got yours?
Yeah. Okay, so I finally watched In a Violent Nature.
Okay, cool.
I'll give you that one. I
Walk.
thought it was
walk.
Yeah. I could see both sides of the argument, because the idea is super cool and I like the filmography and all that stuff. Like, it's a really good looking movie. But yeah, man, there's like just a lot of scenes of just walking.
My argument on that to both of you guys is that was all done completely by design.
Oh yeah,
totally done to throw you off. Yeah.
Was it needed? I don't know.
We'll see, dude. We'll talk about it again at our end of year list. I guarantee you. There
was a point in the movie where I drifted off and something finally happened, and I was like, "Oh shit!" and I had to rewind it and figure out what happened.
I can understand that.
It gives you that. Was it the Slender Man? Was that the one where it was so quiet and like in the woods and shit? Yeah, it gave me that kind of vibe.
But did the Slender Man have a couple of kill scenes that were as good as the ones in this one?
Oh no, I think the movie was fantastic. I think you could have cut like 10 minutes of walking out though.
10, more like 30, right, Brian?
30 was the damn story being told at the end in the truck.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Why would you do that to your movie?
Oh man, there's a reason I loved the ending, but I'll talk about it more later after it's been out a little bit longer. But I just love a good misdirection in a movie. Yeah, that's just original to me. It was like a breath of fresh air.
Well, I guess it was. You were kind of waiting for something to happen, and then it didn't.
Oh, there you go. It's okay. It's been out long enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I just came out of that movie thinking, I now know what walking on grass sounds like.
I know.
Yes, you do. And the little bugs in the background, and
it's actually really relaxing.
The little limbs breaking as he walks by them.
Swayed me to sleep. That and the new season of Ancient Apocalypse is out.
Oh yes.
Graham
I've been
Hancock
dying to hear
is,
about this.
Yeah, Graham Hancock is doing his rounds on the podcasts and talking about his ancient civilization stuff.
Yes.
And this one is about the Americas.
Okay.
So because they've cleared out some stuff in the Amazon rainforest and found evidence of like roads and like all kinds of things that are very man-made. And supposedly there weren't any tribes in the Amazon.
Men to make them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, there's got to be something to that, man.
So they go back through all that, and then they delve into.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, dude, but I get excited about this too. But think about like big time physicists, right? Big time astronomers, and they know that they know that even just this Earth has been here, so many millions of years before any recorded history of humanity.
Yeah.
So you really think it was like just a bunch of dinosaurs and then they died off from an asteroid and then us and that's it? I don't know.
Right. We didn't all evolve
That's hard to
weirdly
swallow.
different to like that quickly, I think. But they found some like 23,000-year-old footprints in the sands of New Mexico. And people were not supposed to have been in the Americas at that point in time.
And geologically, that 23,000 years was like a blink of an eye ago, right?
Yeah. But,
so can you imagine?
Yeah.
Right.
But that was like before the last ice age. So it was kind of cool. Like, so maybe there was some origin of the species here too, and in Africa. And I don't know, maybe there was all kinds of stuff happening. But he gives you a pretty good explanation of all that. And there's one episode that even focuses on like ayahuasca and some of the hallucinogenic rituals and stuff that may have shaped the cultures, because there's a lot of the like drawings and stuff that are even done today that are very geometric and look very much like the art that was on the walls in New Mexico from like 12,000 years ago. The some of the hills and stuff that are in the Amazon are kind of dug out the same way. It's all real weird. It's a whole lot of weird similarities. And then Easter Island, holy shit, that's a great episode.
And every culture has pyramids. Every single culture ever has pyramids, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then the Easter Island thing is pretty interesting, because if you go with regular history, it says they stopped building, or they only built those giant heads like from I think 900 years ago to 400 years ago or something. But there's like 1,000 of them on this island. There's not that many people. It's not very big.
I know. Strange, right?
So it's weird. And so maybe they had more than just the Polynesian heritage there.
I can believe that a lot easier than I can believe that video you sent me that dude was really channeling an alien named New. That was
fantastic.
Have you seen that, Brian? You got to send that to Brian, Phil.
There's some guy that's channeling an alien on some I don't know, some broadcast. It's like a New Zealand journalist or something that's interviewing him, and he like and then channels this alien and starts talking to him, and he sounds ridiculous. It's like a cartoon character. It's so funny. I mean, it's supposed to be serious, which is what makes it
even
like, I don't think it's meant to be a joke.
Which makes it more of a joke, way. Brian.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are my cool of the weeks, man. I like that ancient history stuff. It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, we made it through. Brian, what kind of headlines do we have this week?
Oh, we're just gonna get right into it. Blade delayed indefinitely.
Oh,
but
where I thought you were going with that.
But rumors are the Midnight Suns movie is being fast tracked. So I think what will happen, we'll see Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Okay.
In another movie, not in the solo.
That makes sense. So I'm trying to think, where was
know if
Werewolf
that
by
makes
Night
sense.
in that Midnight Suns? Ghost Rider was, at least at one point, right? I'm trying to
Yeah,
think who
you
else
can
was
have
in.
you can have Moon Knight in there.
Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight. He's established now, right? Great actor. So
Yeah, but how well did it go? Like, I guess if you give him another shot at the character,
Yeah.
well,
because I don't think people
with
are
a
going to get
team,
super. Yeah, I don't think people are going to get super stoked if Moon Knight pops up in a movie right now.
maybe not. But if Blade's in there, I think they will.
Yeah.
I
Although
do.
God, what's the other Marvel movie they're coming out? Craven. Looks pretty cool.
Marvel-ish, right?
Yeah.
So Soneville or
Oh, is that a Sony
Marvy?
one? It is, isn't it? He's in the
Yeah.
Spider-Man universe. I forgot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The Venomverse.
the rumor is on that one, Venom 3 post-credit scene is going to have Tom Holland.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Well, we'll know next week, right? Isn't it? It's right around the corner, I think, isn't it?
Venom 3, I don't know. I don't care about
I think
the Venom
so.
movies.
I'll see it.
I think it is. I just saw a review of it on YouTube. I didn't watch it. I just scrolled past it, but like,
Okay.
so I guess it's either out or almost out.
Well, we're gonna find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some good news here. The Prey follow-up movie, Predator Badlands, gets a November 7th, 2025 release in theaters.
2025.
Oh,
Not
really?
Theaters.
Okay. Cool.
I'll bet you that they do Prey also. What do you think?
A re-release?
I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of like release them together so you can see both of them on the big screen. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
Jam it into a double feature.
Gosh,
Why
I
not?
remember when we did Three from Hell. I accidentally went to a triple feature after I
Oh.
already watched House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, and then I went to the theater.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't know I bought tickets for a triple feature, and I had to watch the first two movies all over again.
Oh my God. However, did you go to the bathroom, man?
I think I took a nap during the second movie.
I was gonna say that's
Probably.
a good time to take a nap.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take. Yeah, that's a lot of zombie.
But that's I know it's not until 2025, but the theatrical release says they're very high on this movie.
Okay.
Kind of exciting.
Yeah, man. I think they should have released the last one in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that quality for sure.
Mhm.
Let's see. Dimon Hansu, probably mispronounced his name. He's a very recognizable actor.
Uh-huh.
Him and also Lauren Lavera, which was Sienna in the Terrifier movies, is going to be in Darren Lynn Bousman's horror thriller, The Monster.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I'm glad to see that she's starting to get more roles now.
Yeah.
Sounds like she
She's
will.
pretty
Just
good. I like her.
please tell me the monster is not going to be yet another Frankenstein retelling. Because it
I
sounds
don't
like
think
it
so.
might with that name.
I don't think so.
Okay. We've had plenty of those.
Side note, I rewatched Terrifier 2.
Yeah?
And my daughter walked by and sat down and watched the whole goddamn thing
Oh,
and loved it.
Nice.
Of course she did.
She is
What's
stuck
not
on
to
that
love?
franchise now.
Aye.
let's see here. CM Punk and Justin Long are set to star in an upcoming horror movie called Night Patrol.
Aye.
Has CM Punk done anything?
Yeah, he's done stuff with the Saska sisters.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
What was that
He did
movie
that-
he did? Something on the third floor.
Yeah, he was in the house it was a house of ill repute back in the day, but they would like kill people in it. They would kill the whores after they did their business, and like
don't
they
think
were
I've
all
had any-
wearing masks and standing around watching. Do y'all remember this?
Yeah,
I don't think I've actually watched anything that he was in.
He's not bad as an actor.
He's not bad at all. No,
Okay.
he's kind of has that
Well,
Henry Rollins-esque.
I mean, that's
Vibe
what
to me.
professional wrestling is, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and right now he's a hot commodity because he just had we talked about it a couple episodes ago. He had a hell of a match a couple of weeks ago at a pay-per-view. Very bloody.
Man, a lot of these wrestlers getting into acting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the company that owns WWE now, TKO, I think that's what it's called. I think they're all about the dollars. So if they can push this wrestler into this movie role or this TV role, and it's gonna bring in some income or more eyes to the product, then that's what they're gonna do.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Let's see. Mike Flanagan is adapting Stephen King's Carrie into an 8-episode limited series for Amazon.
Wait, I thought he was doing the Dark Tower thing or something.
They're talking about it. I think it's going to happen because I just keep constantly reading about how him and the studios are back and forth with ideas. I think that's going to be something that needs a lot of work.
Yeah, it sounds like it may be something much later down the road.
Hopefully not too much later. At this point, I hope I'm still alive to see it. Shit,
that's what I'm saying. Well, if he's going to do the Carrie thing first, then we'll see what happens after that.
And
or maybe this will be like a whole series of Flanagan doing Stephen King in a series, and like a one series, bam, done thing. I like that idea.
It might. Yeah. And they're saying adaptation of Stephen King's novel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found out some things I never knew that were in the book that were never in the movies. Like Carrie was overweight.
Okay. So it might be more true to the book then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't read the book, so.
Sorry if you hear my dog jumping around.
Oh,
that's all part of the show. I think everybody's used to that by now. Between the three of us,
can't seem to figure out whether he wants to lay on the bed or the floor.
No, you can't blame him.
And I think, found another. Godzilla -1 is getting a re-release for the celebration of 70 years of Godzilla, November 1st.
Okay.
So if anybody missed the theater run of that, be on the lookout for that. We talked about American Psycho getting a reboot or remake or whatever they want to call it. And It's got its director, Luca... Lance, how do you say his name?
Guadagnino, I think.
Yeah, guy that did the Suspiria remake.
Yes, yeah. Actually, one of my favorite directors. I was going to say non-horror directors, but then again, he did Suspiria, so I don't know. I think it'll be a good match. I wasn't a huge fan of the tennis one with Zendaya that just came out. That one was kind of more of a yawner than his stuff usually is, but he's always got like a super, super dark element behind all of his characters. So I think he'll do well.
Let's see. A third season of Netflix Monsters is in production, and it's going to be on Ed Gein.
Oh, nice. God.
That was the Monsters. That was the Menendez brothers, and who was the other one they did? The guy that liked to eat people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from what I understand, Charlie Hunnam is going to play Ed Gein.
Okay. But wait.
Jax Gein.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking Gacy. So, Gein. Okay, he was a skinny little guy, wasn't he?
Gein was the inspiration for Leatherface.
Yeah, that's right. He had like things that were made out of skin and junk.
For the club.
Okay.
Also,
I watched a little bit of the Menendez one. It's not bad.
Yeah. Bored me to tears, man. AJ watched it, but I couldn't handle it.
Wait, she watched it, but it bored you to tears?
Yeah, I know.
The Jeffrey Dahmer
hard
one
to believe,
was great.
Huh? I haven't seen that one either.
The Jeffrey Dahmer one was great. It was better than
you
the
haven't
Menendez
seen the Jeffrey Dahmer one?
Was it? Nope.
But you watched
I'm missing out.
Brothers. Yeah.
I don't want to watch the Menendez brothers. I saw enough of that to know I'm not interested.
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing, and I'm not like super excited to get back into it, but my wife was watching it, and so I was in the room.
Yeah.
Well, the Ed Gein one will also feature Alfred Hitchcock, which will be played by Tom Hollander. not Tom Holland.
Okay.
And Laurie Metcalf will play Ed Gein's mother.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, with Hunnam, I'll give it a chance. Let's see what accent. he
I've
chooses to
actually,
do.
even if the movie wasn't great that he was in, I always enjoyed his performance in it.
Yeah, especially when he does the American accent. It's always Jax. No matter what American character, he's like Negan. Every character he plays now is Negan.
It's so weird that when he got cast in Crimson Peak, everybody was British except for him. He was the American.
Correct.
It's
They
just
probably
like,
just did that to fuck
why?
with him.
Yeah.
Is that all the news? Yes, that is all the news.
All right, moving on. So maybe we'll get all these movies knocked out tonight after all, after the show, Brian. I know where we got to go, Philip. You know where we're headed, don't you?
Oh, down to the trailer park.
Yes, sir. Brian is going to bring us the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. What is the first new trailer tonight, Brian?
We're going to talk about Ryan Coogler's remake of, I believe, the 80s cult hit horror movie Street Trash.
Who was talking about this a couple of months ago? Maybe it was 6 months ago. Was it
this
Naz?
is a remake?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
somebody covered the original one. Maybe it's a
Okay.
year ago. Time flies when you're old like me.
You're asking me to remember a year ago.
I think Nez, if you're listening, dude, brother, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I could swear you've covered this one before, the original Street Trash, and it sounded fascinating the way they were describing it.
Well, the synopsis is a group of homeless misfits must fight for survival when they discover a plot to exterminate every homeless person in the city.
That's one way to do it.
And judging by the trailer, I know I've seen the original one, but I don't remember it. But judging from the trailer, this is going to be gory, disgusting, probably funny as hell.
And colorful.
So
Very colorful.
So it's going to star. So it's going to star Gavin Newsom as the one who's rounding them all up and executing them, then, or what?
It sounds like Kiwis.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Coogler, he did that movie, Fried Berry. You ever see that one,
I haven't
Phil?
seen that one. I heard
Fried
You never
Berry?
seen that, Phil or Lance? You're blowing my mind tonight. You
I
ever
know.
seen that?
Now I've heard good things. I've heard good things. I know we watched the trailer.
It's
never saw the
Phil.
movie.
It's alien stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Alien
What's it called?
shit.
Fried Berry?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really. It's not a movie you watch with the kids.
Gotcha.
Well, if you're watching Terrifier 2 with the kids, maybe it is.
Saying.
Spoilers. If I remember Fried Berry, I think there's some dicks swinging around.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that.
Okay. Yeah, let's avoid
Violence is
that
cool. We're
conversation.
trying to avoid the sex.
That's why my daughter, she's watched a lot of horror movies, but there's certain ones that we haven't delved into. We haven't delved into the Hellraiser movies because
Yeah.
a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julia and all that. Uncle
So,
Frank.
what'd you guys think of Street Trash? Just based off not really knowing much about the original, going off of this trailer.
Yeah. I didn't even know the original existed. It's not a movie that was ever on my radar. But this looks super cool. Like very stylized. Which I'll always give that a try. You're doing something different. Hey, I like it. Yeah, it looks fun.
Looks very trauma to me.
Yeah.
Brian.
But like 80s retro, more mainstream trauma.
Okay.
Not as cheap.
I could see that.
Yeah, the original one
maybe.
came out in '87.
Okay. Yeah. They captured 87 in the trailer pretty well, I would say.
Yeah. It's got with the color scheme and everything, it's got that like retro arcade vibe.
Totally.
I think this one says release date October 17th in the United
this year?
States. That I think that's wrong.
Well, maybe we can find it. Let's see.
I just had it up on.
Street Trash, huh? Make sure I'm looking up the right one.
Not rated. I'm not showing a release date though.
2024.
Oh yeah.
No release date here. Just the
That's what
year.
it says. October 17th, 2024 on
No shit.
on IMDb.
Okay.
It's what it says.
That had to have been like a festival or something.
Misprint. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, a lot of times they get release dates that are way before the movie ever actually comes out because they're doing the festival circuit.
I know one of the logos, there was a bunch of logos ahead of this Bloody Disgusting, Cineverse, and one of them popped up with Screambox, so this might be a Screambox original.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, they've been getting more stuff lately. I'm a little impressed with them. Pretty soon their price is going to go up too. So.
Oh man, I hope not. That's the that's the selling point of Screambox.
I know.
Yeah, it's just a couple bucks.
It's like a couple of dollars a month, kind of like Night Flight, right? Literally, like $2 or $3 a month.
Yeah.
All right, our final trailer, and Lance, I swear you and me were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. The Strangers Chapter 2.
Okay. We probably were. Well, we were trying to see what direction they were going, right?
And I think this kind of answers some of the questions. You brought up Richard Brake and the townspeople, and
yes,
heavily featured in this trailer.
Thank God. We don't just get 30 seconds of Richard Brake and then he's gone. Right?
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very intrigued with where this story is going.
Now maybe we know what he was up to by doing almost a shot for shot of the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely not in a mobile home park this time, Philip.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say after they feel like after the Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 come out, people are going to go back to Chapter 1, rewatch it, and say it's going to make a whole lot of sense in the whole scheme of things with the trilogy.
I like it.
Yeah, if they keep it interesting, and it looks like it's going to be pretty decent. I gotta say, like, the Strangers movies are not exciting me though. I
know.
I wish I cared more, but I kind of don't.
I kind of feel like that's why this movie feels like they're going to go a completely different direction.
Yeah.
With the townspeople, and I think that's a misdirect in the truck when she gets picked up. How they're making us, I think they're making us think those are the strangers that were in the first one. I think it's going to be like a cult. She certainly
thinks they are.
I think it's going to be like a cult of people.
Yeah. Looks that way.
Yeah, always love a good cult movie, especially when it's like a religious cult, you know? And they're definitely like quoting scripture and stuff like that on the trailer. So, yeah. It has promise.
They got to find their way to the spaceship.
Maybe. And this one, it doesn't have a set release date, but I heard this is coming out like November or December.
Okay.
So.
Of this year.
Yeah.
All right. Don't have long to wait.
And from what I understand, Chapter 3 would be sometime early 2025, like January, February, March, sometime in that area. So they're all done filming. So.
Oh, well.
I think they were just trying to space them out.
Philip, are you drinking Old Milwaukee? Is that no. That can look suspiciously like Old Milwaukee.
It's a Lone River water thing. Spicy water.
Spicy water. It's a spicy water.
Yeah.
Is that Mario?
Something like that. No, it's like the mask, right? A spicy meatball.
Sounded like it's a me, Mario.
Okay. Was there that scene where like he swallowed a bomb and he went a spicy meatball? I don't know.
Me and my daughter, we just watched that too. She never really. She's seen parts of it. She never really watched it.
The Mask.
She's got a list.
Yeah, The Mask.
She's got a list of movies, but she like categorizes them in like by decade. So it was on her 90s list.
Cameron Diaz was smoking in that movie.
Oh, dude, she has never been hotter than in that movie. Like, I don't even think she's that hot now, but like in that movie, she was.
I know.
She's supposed to be coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
And
So is Daniel Day-Lewis, from what I hear. I think he's coming out of retirement also.
Well, that, from what I understand, it sounds like because his son is directing the movie.
That'll do it. Just ask M. Just ask M. Night.
Yeah.
All right. Feedback.
Oh, feedback. All right.
There we go.
My bad. All right. This week we shine the podcast spotlight on Dead with My Friends. Dead with My Friends podcast is the product of a friendship that goes way back to first grade, bonding over a shared love for movies and music. Over time, our taste naturally broadened from our initial favorites to exploring a mix of genres. That's why we decided to start this show, to create a platform where we can talk about all the things that we enjoy, whether it's our all-time favorites or the new flicks we come across over time. Click the link at the bottom and listen in our first episode and get to know us. Dead with My Friends. That's cool.
Dead with My Friends. Yeah, great title.
Let's see. Regarding the continuation of the Saw franchise, Mia Hughes says, please stop with these BS movies already. It gets old.
Okay.
Well, they keep making 100 million plus each movie.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop.
The Saw seems like a gimmick, though, where you can kind of keep going. Like, it doesn't, to be honest, I don't think the story matters a whole lot. It's about the tracks and the creative kills, you know?
Right.
Regards to Leatherface, Tara Van Epps says lamest movie ever.
Oh, harsh. Wasn't that bad?
Agreed.
Okay.
Which one was that? Where he was young?
Yeah, the young.
Okay, yeah.
He was a mental patient.
Yeah.
Apparently, Leatherface used to be a good-looking young kid.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. I forgot I even watched that one. In regards to Carved, Michael Prazeres says, worth the watch, guys? Question mark? John Eggers says,
Brian, you've seen it, but you can't talk about it yet, right?
You have to wait till we get to that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. John Eggers says, fun to watch for October, and Todd Copeland said it sucked kind of. So that doesn't help you at all.
We're all over the place on this one.
Well, there's seems a small little bit of positivity in it sucked kind of, because it didn't suck all the way.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
Regards to Smile 2, Johnny Ray says Smile 2 does indeed go hard. Haven't screamed at a jump scare like that in years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Evan Sapien says great flick. Enjoy. I'm pretty sure he meant to say enjoy, but you know him.
Damn typos.
In regards to Terrifier 3, John Pollock says, just out of the cinema, a good few moments of turning to my wife and mouthing bloody hell. The film licked the salty underbelly of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie for me, for insane gore, as well as a slapstick dark comedy. Thank you, channeled Charlie Chaplin on crack with a chainsaw. Bloody hell. Wow. Charlie Chaplin on crack with a chainsaw.
I like
That's not a terrible description.
Lick the salty underbelly of Texas Chainsaw. That sounds gross, but I exactly know what he's talking about.
In regards to Zombieland Double Tap, Dave Barta says, great sequel. Love the addition of Madison.
She was a fun character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't trust her, but she was fun.
Yeah, it's all right. Wasn't as good as first one, but it's all right. All right, that's it for listener feedback. Our show intro and new logos come from Steve Carlton of the Geeks. Original skull artwork from Natsulani. And if you want to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. I'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 or more, you also get a commentary for a future bonus show. But October's almost over. So this will be the last episode that we touted on.
Well, next episode too, right?
No.
No.
By the time that episode comes out, it'll be
that's
November.
true. Yeah. The way things are looking. Yeah.
So you guys got what, a week?
Last chance.
This is it. Get on board.
If you join at the $5 tier and stay with us at least 3 months, you'll get 6 koozies, a T-shirt, and a pop figurine.
And I've got to figure out who I still owe the pop figurine to. I know it's somebody.
Yeah,
David, is it you? I think David, we owe you
that.
a T-shirt too still. So if you're listening, don't be shy. Reach out to us.
Yeah, just
email us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com.
This is not our day job. We forget things. All right. On to the featured attractions. This week we see Smile 2 and go back to check out The Ring 2 for some reason.
Well, there was a lot of comparisons. The original Smile to The Ring and It Follows.
Right.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
We already did those movies, so
I know.
We didn't.
That's why I was like, what else would we pair it with? We're kind of running low. All right, so for The Ring 2, 2005, 6 months after the incidents involving the lethal videotape, new clues prove that there is a new evil lurking in the darkness. Director is Hideo Nakata, also known for Dark Water and the original Ringu. Writers are Aaron Kruger. I don't know. It's probably just Kruger. Aaron. It's probably just Aaron, and it's spelled stupid. Kruger. Koji Suzuki and Hiroshi Takahashi. Takahashi, my bad.
Close.
Hideo Nakata has disowned the film and claims to hate
it. Oh no!
He blames the film's negative. He blames the film's negative reception from fans and critics on studio interference, as Paramount executives would step in during the shoot and either force him to reshoot key sequences, delete certain scenes, or change existing scenes until they bore little resemblance to what Nakata had in mind. Why does that not surprise me?
Not a good sign, right?
All right. Brian, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I feel kind of bad after hearing that little bit of trivia because
I know.
Knowing all that makes me feel bad for saying that I hated this movie.
Did you?
It feels nothing like the original. The original had a slow pacing that kind of built up the tension and the dread. This one was just kind of going.
Right, and less creepiness.
There was a few scenes in there, like what was the little boy's name? Aiden, when he was in the bathtub and the water was flowing out. That looked super cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those kind of scenes were too far and few.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel like they tried to cram in some backstory.
Yeah.
For Samara, and kind of gave her different power settings than the original one, because the original one she was cursing people through the tape, and now this one she's trying to possess the body of the kid somehow.
That's always awkward, right?
Yeah, it seems like if that's what she wanted, she'd have been doing that the whole time.
Yeah, because they mentioned when they go and visit the mother, I think the orderly said like somebody always comes to visit, like every 3 years. It's like somebody new. So it seems like this has been tried before many times. So why didn't it happen in the original one?
Good question.
That's not. Yeah, that sucks, dude. So they changed all the rules. That's never good, right? Like at least Saw, like you guys were talking about Saw. At least it's always this. You know what to expect, right? It's gonna be the traps, right?
Yeah.
But if her fucking powers change and the way she does them changes, what's the point?
Yeah, because it seemed like the tape wasn't needed in this one for her to hurt other people.
Only in the opening sequence, right?
Yeah.
Which was like a scream cold open, right?
Which I kind of like that opening sequence. You thought
it should have stayed like that, right?
He thought she watched the tape, and then he thought she didn't watch the tape, and it just kept going back. Did she or didn't she? And then finally got to see her face, and she said, I put it on, but I covered my eyes the whole time, and I'm like, okay, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of clever.
A scene I cannot forgive this movie for is the fucking CGI deer scene on the highway, or the road. That was so awful, and that seems like studio interference right there.
You think?
Because it made no sense why that would be happening.
That didn't make any sense at all. It didn't tie any to any of the legend, right?
I mean, was he possessed by Samara by then?
I guess. Or they thought he was. They were frightened of him, the deer, because one of them saw him when he was at the carnival. Remember?
I can't remember.
They were like staring at him or whatever.
Then we got the Insidious thing going on, where you can see Samara through pictures taken from a camera.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah.
And
she was just full-fledged flying around like a fucking ghost at some point.
Yeah, so they completely. This kind of shocks me that this is from the guy who directed the original Japanese version.
Well, according to him, it wasn't. Like, they changed everything, so you can't blame him for being pissed off, right?
Yeah, it sounds like there's a director's cut somewhere floating around that they need to release.
Yeah, but I don't know if I even want to see it after this experience.
All right, Lance, what'd you think?
I was really, really, really confused, because I could have sworn at the beginning of the first movie, did they not solve the problem by putting her to rest or whatever? Or am I thinking of a different movie? Like, I thought they solved the ring problem because they
was still
Samara to rest or something.
There was still the tape, because they found out if you make a copy, you have to give that copy to someone and have them watch it, and basically you have to continue the chain. Wow.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, that was throwing me off a little bit, right? Because I was like, well, wait a minute. Why are we? And second, why are we still involving Naomi Watts' character again, right? Why does she have to be the focal point of it? Why does the boy have to be the focal point? Why couldn't they have just jettisoned from that first scene, right? Like, so that would have been a lot more fun, right? Like, you just have scene after scene of new people that are either being exposed to it or trying to get someone else to look at it or whatever. Wouldn't that have been a better movie?
Yeah, because I was done with the whole kids robotic acting in the first movie.
Oh yeah, this kid was like super annoying and weird. He's like a
really bad,
very tiny but full grown like Dane DeHaan.
It's like, I don't know. It's like they told him, we need you to be creepy, and then they wound up his back and then let him go, and then he was just a little robot. Or it's what AI would have thought was creepy or something.
Yeah,
that might be it. You might have nailed it, Brian. There's no AI revolution going on. AI has been running us for centuries, guys, and this proves it, right?
Very good possibility.
No, this movie honestly did not know what it wanted to be. Was it a creepy kid movie? Was it a possession movie? Was it a flying ghost movie? Was it a Insidious look at him in the picture and you can see him but look straight on and you can't type of movie? Was it a pass the curse along movie? Was it a evil videotape movie? It didn't know what the fuck it wanted to be.
I'm gonna say yes to all those things, Lance.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. It was a fucking cash grab, and that's why they brought Naomi Watts back.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, she's star power, let's trap her into a contract or give her a, huge, let's back up the money truck or whatever and get her in here again. People will flock to the theater. It's The Ring. It's Naomi Watts. Get them in. And then, you bring the kid back. Was that other guy that, like, her quasi love interest or whatever he was he in the first movie or?
No, the love interest in the first one, we found out at the end, was his father, and he died because he watched the videotape.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, well, that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. This just felt like the most unnecessary movie of all time. And then I remember there was another one called Rings, right?
Yeah, we
and
reviewed
then
it.
Was did I mute?
Did you mute?
No, you're good.
Oh,
Or you can't hear us because you took your headphones off, Lance.
hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Did I hit mute for a minute?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
All I said
I'm
was
imagining. It must be.
we
Samara.
reviewed Rings. That's all I said, and then you were like, "Did I mute?"
Okay. All right. So, have there been any others? Was it the Ring?
But
Ring
like
2?
immediately, it didn't even make any sense.
No.
The Japanese ones, Rings. Was this it? Like, is this the
As
end
far
of
as
the franchise?
for the American version?
Yeah, as far as the American version.
Yeah, Rings was it for as far as.
Okay, thank God, right? Yeah,
Was that the only other one? I thought there was more.
Rings was bad too.
They brought the character back in Japanese movies.
Yeah. But I mean, there weren't any more American Rings. It was just these 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more in between there for some reason.
I thought there was too.
You're
I think there were like 12 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking of
or are
we
talking?
are we thinking 4.
We may be thinking of Children of the Corn at this point, Brian.
Maybe.
That kid would have fit in a Children of the Corn movie. That's for damn sure. But yeah, no, I wasn't a huge fan. This was totally unnecessary. This struck me as nothing but a cash grab. And there were no rules. Like you guys said, they kept changing the rules, right? What can she do? What can't she do? How does she show herself? Is she taking over this boy? Does she come get you through the videotape? What are the rules? It's just a bit of a stinker, I think.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to agree with the director on this one.
And if her whole thing was to take over the body of the boy, why would you not try to play along with everybody?
Yeah.
Good point.
And then when she had him possessed,
right,
that's when he started like being real sweet, which was not scary at all. I mean, I think they meant to go for something that was a little unnerving, but it wasn't. It wasn't really creepy. I was like, oh well, suddenly this kid is almost normal.
Now, why did he call her by her name rather than mom or mommy? Is that just
weirdo?
So they?
No, he's just a weird kid.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
He sees the size of his head. There's something wrong with him.
Something wrong with this kid, yeah.
Yeah.
the Toxic Avengers offspring or something, right?
Yeah. But but yeah, I didn't even think that part was scary. And then like if she's already got the boy,
mm-hmm.
then like what's the end game? To sit on the couch and fucking watch cartoons? Like where are you going from here?
I guess.
Because it was like still trying to hide itself or whatever.
Right.
And pretend it was the little boy until it didn't get its way. But it was like, is this what you want? You just wanted to have a body so you could hang out on the couch? I don't get it.
Eat Cheetos and watch cartoons.
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll never know.
But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this movie either. Yeah, that deer scene was kind of stupid. It also didn't make sense. And
it's like they were trying to be that
bad.
scene from the Omen with the monkeys.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I can see that.
But like, when's the last time you saw a bunch of deer attack anything?
Not often.
Like
they're usually running away from you.
They would run away from the evil thing and not try to ram into it.
I've seen videos where there's a deer running and trying to jump over the road, jumping over cars, but not like a whole herd.
A flock of deer.
Especially like trying to attack you, you know what I mean?
That was weird. That was
weird.
I like that. I like that theory of it being a callback to the monkeys from The Omen. That makes perfect sense. That's exactly what they were trying to channel.
But the scene with the monkeys in The Omen was really creepy. And this one was just over the top and bad CGI, and it didn't.
There was a lot of bad CGI in the movie. There were a lot of bad visuals. Like every time it would go to the black and white and then the water dropping into the tub and then what was that CGI fire tree? Where did that come from? What the fuck was that all about?
Because she was dreaming.
Yeah.
CGI dream sequence. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and because she doesn't sleep, she doesn't dream. And for some reason, I guess, drugged her up and put her to sleep. So she was dreaming and a big flaming tree popped up. I guess that's what was in her dream. That's what I got out of it. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, makes as much sense as any other theory. That's for damn sure.
What makes less sense is when she just dropped her kid off with that dude and just took off. She's like, I'll be back in a couple of days. Bye.
I will say I liked what's his name popping up in the movie, Ricky Bobby's dad.
Oh yeah, as the realtor.
That's right. Gary Cole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, he was such a sleazy realtor. Did anything happen in this house? Yeah, I think they bought a condo in Seattle or something like that. Anything for the sale, huh? Offer me anything above asking and it's yours, wink wink. He's got off carrying all those fucking balloons. That was kind of a humorous scene.
Yeah,
but
that was pretty good. He did a great job.
Even Gary Cole couldn't save this, right?
I did like the cameo from Sissy Spacek as the mother.
I thought that was her. Okay, I thought that was Sissy Spacek. There you go. Wonder if she's going to be in the Carrie series that's coming out. I'm sure she'll be the mom, probably, right?
Oh, that would be cool.
That would make sense.
See, and I don't mind that they tried to go back like further into the history and the lore and stuff, like tracking down her mom and trying to figure out, but I felt like if you're going to track down the mom, you should be figuring out how Samara got to be Samara in the first place. And like all you come away with is you have to kill your kid. Like what?
Well, shit. If I'd known it was that simple.
I know. Could have done that before I drove all the way out here.
No shit. Well, fuck. Thanks for letting me know, bitch.
Yeah. So I thought that was a stupid answer. And then and then even when she got trapped in the little digital realm or whatever, like her escape for that was jumping off the cliff, like in the video, which also doesn't seem to make sense.
See, that reminded me of Mama. You remember that?
Yeah.
Was that Fede Alvarez that did Mama?
No, it was Andy Muschietti.
Muschietti. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's that. But I don't know. Was that before or after this one?
It was
a little bit after.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, well, in the first Ring, they had that scene in the video where she falls off the cliff or whatever, and that's where that came from.
Okay.
But it just didn't make sense that that's how she gets out of the little digital realm that she's stuck in somehow. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. It wasn't awesome. It was kind of long. It was a chore to watch.
Maybe she ended her third life and ran out of quarters or something, right?
I guess.
Had to come back to. I don't know.
It's a me, Mario. All right. Scores. Brian, what do you think?
There were a couple cool visuals in there, but they were overshadowed by a ton of bad CGI. I didn't like the plot, so I have to give this 2 CGI deer out of 10.
Ooh, that's tough. Not enough to smash the shit out of your car. Well, that probably is. Lance, what do you think? 2. Another 2.
Another 2.
Man, I don't need. I'll give it a 3 because I gotta give it a little bit of credit. But like,
for what?
I don't know. I don't even care about this movie. It was bad. Don't bother with the Ring 2. It was bad. The Rings movie after this was better than this one.
Yeesh. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, watch the original Japanese ones and then watch the first one, and then I think you'll be okay.
And then you're done.
You skip the rest. All right. On to Smile 2. We'll see if we can keep our suck fest going. 2024. About to embark on a world tour, global pop sensation Sky Riley begins experiencing increasingly terrifying and inexplicable events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and the pressures of fame, Skye is forced to face her past. Director and writer is Parker Finn, also known for the original Smile. The scar on Skye's knee is the shape of a smile. Oh, did not notice that.
Damn it, I'm going to have to go back and look now.
Indeed.
A number of in-universe songs by Skye Riley were released on iTunes.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say about this franchise is the first movie they did the people popping up at different events and sports events. This one they also did that, but they made like social media accounts and released music for this character like it was an actual real person. So they do a good job on their marketing for this movie.
Like a guerrilla marketing campaign. I like
it. Yep, I would say so. Some of the songs were fucking catchy too, man.
Yeah, I mean they were poppy and cheesy, but not bad.
And I think along with them, man. I think because Naomi Scott also was in the live action Aladdin movie. I think they hired her for that movie because she can actually sing in real life. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was her actual music.
Probably so. Probably so.
Yeah, wasn't bad. All right, Brian, what do you think of the movie?
I liked it. I thought it was a worthy sequel to the original one. I liked how we started not too far off from the original one. I thought Naomi Scott knocked it out the park with her performance because this was more psychological this time on what was really happening and what wasn't. And I thought just her progression from start to beginning was just phenomenal. And I did have a problem with some CGI effects in the movie, but it didn't take me out from it. There were some brutal kills.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
There was some brutal kills because when they went for it, they really went for it with the kills.
Dude, that very first one.
Yeah.
It was great.
Little disappointed that character didn't last longer.
I know.
He's been. I'll get to it in spoilers, but yeah.
Right.
Like I said, worthy's sequel. And I know there's people that actually like this one more than the original one.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I'm there yet, but yeah, a great second movie from Parker Finn. Because I thought the whole concept was going to be played out in this one. I wasn't really. This wasn't really high on my list of movies coming into it, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It kind of turned me around on it by the end.
I thought you were looking forward to this one more, Brian, for some reason.
I was, and then I seen a couple like TV spots in the second trailer, and I was just kind of like, is this thing going to get kind of played out? By halfway through the movie, I'm just kind of like doing the same fucking thing, but.
Right.
I just kind of felt like they added more psychological stuff to it, and like her trauma that she went through in her life, her drug addiction and stuff like that, her anxiety, just kind of all played in real nicely to the plot, and it turned me around quickly. And I hope to see Naomi Scott more. I know she's been in some movies that haven't done well. Aladdin didn't do well. She was in the Power Rangers reboot movie, which I liked it, even though I'm not a Power Rangers guy.
Oh yeah, that one wasn't bad.
Okay, haven't seen that one yet.
Hopefully, this will kind of get her some bigger, better roles.
I'm sure our buddy Steve Carlton has seen it.
Oh yeah,
anything Power Rangers, he's in.
All right, Lance, what do you think?
Oh man, I was not looking forward to this movie. Brian, you remember when we saw the trailer for the first time? I was saying that I was so scared, right? That like you said, I was so scared they were going to just play it out and overdo it, right? And like the same beats, and like, do we really need this? Do we really need a pop star to get into the Smile universe? Is this really necessary? So, I go in, and before that first scene even starts, you've got like the logo, going across the screen like it did in the first movie, and you've got that sound that just fucking pulls you in. And I'm like, oh my God, Here we go again. Parker Finn. I don't know what it is with this dude. Does he have a music background, perhaps? Or does he just work really closely and find really, really, really good sound design people?
The only
Because
thing
the
I
sound.
know, the only thing I know of him, other than the Smile movies, is the Smile movie was originally a short film he did called Laura Hasn't Slept or something like that.
So I don't know if the credit goes to him or the credit goes to whoever does his like sound mixing, sound design, music for it and stuff like that, or if it is the same team or whatever. But this was just as good as the original to me as far as sound design and
Well,
like really making you feel like you were there, right?
They even
like that
did
deep.
Yeah, but
It's
they
like
even
just
did a couple
pulling
of
you
little
in.
like nuance audio tricks in there
Yes,
at
they
some
did.
points that sort
Yes,
of
they
pulled you in. It was
did.
really cool. Yeah.
And like I said, the music was fucking phenomenal. The music is something you would literally hear a pop star do on the radio now and sell millions of copies.
Yep.
It was that good. It really was. And I don't know how much of it had to do with her. I don't know how much of it had to do with his, with his people, and I don't know how much had to do with Parker Finn himself. But I'm going to tell you, Parker did it for me. Get Parker. They say Parker Lewis can't lose. That was an old show when I was a kid. I'm going to say Parker Finn.
Cut.
I know.
So far, Parker Finn can't lose. I really fucking love this movie. I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as the first one, but I will know when I've seen it again, because I've probably seen the first one, at least 3 or 4 times. It's like one of those I like to show people, especially that scene in the end, with the demon and all that. But yeah, I was I was really pleasantly surprised. I thought that this was expertly directed. To say that it was expertly acted, I mean, that's almost an insult to the main stars in this movie. I love the way that they started it and they kind of connected the first movie to it in that one scene. I thought it was brilliant the way that she portrayed the trauma, the mental illness, the substance abuse. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if I had a little tin in it and I had to hide my drug addiction because I'd had problems in the past, but yet I've got this intense pain from a really serious car accident injury, and I have to kind of like hide my, painkillers. And if I opened up a tin and 3 of them fell down the sink, I'd be down there with a wrench, opening that motherfucker up and just finding a way to, I'm not trying to spoil too much, so don't let me go too far. Y'all need to pull me in if I start giving too much away. But safe to say, the same way that the first movie dealt with trauma and dealt with mental health, this movie was masterful at dealing with mental health. And I just love the way that they did it. There were a couple of scenes in there that I'd like to know if a couple of these scenes took you guys out. They certainly didn't me. I kind of love the way they were filmed. I think it was really original, especially one scene in her apartment with a particular flash mob. I really loved that scene. I thought it was super original, but hey, I'm a musicals guy, right? So
Did you do jazz hands again?
I did. Yeah, no, this movie was fucking awesome. I dug it. This was everything I was worried it wouldn't be, and I kind of hope we see more. And it definitely left it open for more. So yeah, can't say too many bad things about this one. Philip, I hope you liked it as much as we did, man.
All right. Well, okay. So I wasn't as giant of a fan of the original Smile as you guys were, but I think it's because I didn't see it in theater. I watched a shitty copy of it, and then I've watched it online since then. But
a better sounding copy at least. Did you at least have like a sound bar? Like, well,
because it's out now. So, but like. Right. So I've watched it since then, but I don't know that I really paid enough attention to it because I probably didn't give it the credit it deserves, because this movie was pretty awesome. I have some concerns and some questions, but the audio was fantastic. I like the tricky camera angles and stuff. I thought that was really cool. It did a lot to set the mood and put you in that chaotic headspace that she was in, and dude, the acting, she blew it out of the fucking water. This was so good.
Yeah, I thought Sosie Bacon was great in the first one. I think she might have surpassed her.
Yeah, and it was like jump scare central. There was a bunch of them. but not.
But they
not
were
so
earned,
much,
right?
yeah, not so much in an annoying way. They weren't fake jump scares, and they were kind of worth it, because it would show you something really fucking creepy or something. Just
Mm-hmm.
they did a great job with it. It got me a few times. I definitely jumped out of my seat more than once. So I'll wait to get into that till spoilers. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I enjoyed it more than the first one.
Nice.
So yeah,
All right.
I was very impressed, because I wasn't super hyped about seeing this movie, but my daughter really wanted to see it because she liked the first one.
Okay. So by them enlarging the universe and the stakes, so to speak, right? By
Yeah.
having a pop star, that did not ruin it for you guys, because that's what I was
No.
so worried was going to ruin it for me.
I
I liked
actually
it.
felt like that was one of the main things I liked about it, because of we've all heard stories about the industry, about
Yeah.
people constantly smiling in your face. So that just would have added to the whole
I didn't even think
who's
about
really
that, Brian.
smiling at me and who's not,
I love
Mhm.
that angle. Yeah, that's totally part of this. Absolutely. But see, there's yet another angle of it. So when I rewatch it, I'll pay more attention to that for sure.
I don't think there was a character I didn't like in this movie. Except
That's saying a lot.
maybe her mom, but I mean, she did what she.
But that's by design.
You're
That's by
supposed to
design.
not like her.
Yeah.
She was a momager.
Yeah.
Britney Spears' mom, right?
Yeah.
All right. Scores, Brian. What do you think?
With the exception of one questionable CGI moment, I'm gonna have to give this a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Lance?
I'll give it an 8. Strong 8 out of 10.
I'm going 9, man. This one really caught me
Nice!
off guard. It was so good.
Okay, cool.
Like, it had a lot of really good, legitimate scares. This is a perfect Halloween
Yes, that has a lot to do with it too, right? A lot of gross out stuff, a lot of good special effects, right?
movie. Yeah. All right, let's get to spoilers. Brian, what's your scene?
The very end where the demon came out.
It.
I liked it,
I liked
but
that
I was
part.
just like, the CGI was not the best.
That's true. But it was insane.
I enjoyed
insane.
the mouth being kind of ripped open.
Yeah.
And it crawling
Right.
out. I like that, but when it was fully out, standing on stage in front of her, I was just kind of like, what are we doing?
I figured that would take a lot of people out of it, and I sort of had that thought for a second when it first happened, but I was like,
Well,
you know what? I like this. This is cool.
But
just gotta go with it.
when that happened, immediately a thought popped in my head, and I looked at my daughter because she watched this one with me, and I was like, the demon's confronting her now, so now she's about to take her life in front of the whole crowd. Is that gonna curse the entire crowd now?
Yep.
See, and that, to me, that was the part that maybe went a little too far at the very end, because like, how are they ever going to rein this in? But I guess I'm curious to see what he does if he does like a third movie and makes it a trilogy, you know?
Or
Because
maybe
holy shit, if it's out there
Maybe-
to everybody,
Mhm.
or maybe it's just one specific person it goes to out the crowd.
I think we're gonna find out.
Well, 'cause
Is
it's
it doing well at the box office? I mean,
I think I read that it did better in its first opening weekend than the original one did.
well, there you go. I think we're
Makes
gonna find
sense.
out.
Well, because is it just one demon, or is that how it reproduces, or can it possess multiple people? Like,
Ooh,
Don't know.
good question. Good question.
Looking right here, off a $28 million budget, it grossed $51 million over the weekend.
Okay.
not
And that's
bad.
just the weekend. So,
Yeah.
oh man, wow.
Now-
Okay, here.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, the part that I really the part of this movie though, that because I was loving every minute of it, you know, especially when you had that sound design and that sound that just sucked you in at the beginning, just like the original intro did. But the part that really got me and made me like literally kind of like shake a little bit like, holy shit, that makes so much sense, is when they flash back to the car wreck.
Yeah.
And it's like, it wasn't just that guy's fault.
Yeah.
Jack
And I'm like,
Nicholson's
no
son.
Fucked up
wonder
and
she has
crashed.
so much.
You
No
guys
wonder
talking about
she has.
Jack Nicholson's son?
Is that
Yeah.
his son in real life?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Holy shit. I had no idea. But that
He pulls that
explains so
smile
much,
off.
right? About the guilt. About the guilt that she's carrying with her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I thought
Great.
that was a great reveal, and I didn't see it coming until
Me
until
neither,
the end.
not at all.
Until
And
the
great-
end. When they started that scene, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Great way to kind of tell two perspectives from that story, because you get the first flashback where she wakes up, she's hanging upside down in the car wreck.
Oh my God,
And
yeah.
you just
That
hear her
was
crying and
frightening.
screaming.
Yeah.
Then you get the next perspective of, oh, you caused this by grabbing the wheel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just great storytelling. And Lance, you brought up the scene at the apartment, the flash mob scene.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Yeah.
that went so well with her being a pop singer, the way they were
Of
moving.
course.
Yes.
They were moving like dancers.
Was that her dance squad? Is that who
Yeah.
it
It
was
looked
that she
like
was
them.
envisioning?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
And were they really there? Was anybody really there during the thing? Was that one character whose brother allegedly died really there?
That's the
Like, you couldn't tell. That
that's
was
the
the
great
problem.
thing about this movie. I think not only the movie was fucking with her character, but it was fucking with us at the same time.
Well, that was my only issue with it, actually, is because, like, when you
Okay.
don't know what's real and you can just fucking erase things at will, then there's no rules.
Like
You can just,
like the multiverse
Yeah.
problem,
you
right?
just do whatever the hell you want. And,
I
like, I
think-
mean, we went on a whole story down the end of the road, and none of that shit actually happened.
Okay.
Mhm.
And we don't even
I-
really know what happened when it was happening, you know?
I think the whole interaction with her best friend Gemma,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think didn't happen.
right.
But the Milton, is that his character?
Yes.
I think that did happen.
The first
You do?
interaction?
Yeah. I think it did happen.
Like when she met him in the bar and everything, or even
Yeah.
the part when he froze her, or like got her temperature down, and
I
like,
think-
you think that was really happening?
I think part of it. I think she was on her way there, but really
Okay.
she went to the show.
Oh man, there's a
She-
lot.
she never made it- she
There's
never
a
made
lot
it
of
to Milton.
questions,
Yeah.
right?
Because
Although
she
in her
wasn't
mind
even,
she thought she did.
because she wasn't
that-
as beat up or anything at the show. Or for all we know, the whole thing never really happened, and it was the demon fucking with her the whole time up until the point where it knew she was going to be at the show.
Yeah. But I figured that was the point of the demon, is to get in front of as many eyes as possible and infect
Mhm.
all of those people.
That's what I
Like,
was thinking.
that
That was
was-
my takeaway.
That was my
takeaway at
thought
the
from
end.
the very beginning of the
Yeah.
movie, would be the end goal of this thing.
Yeah.
And then it
And
almost
wa-
looked like
and
they
it
weren't going
was,
to do
or
that.
wasn't
but-
it? Right?
Yeah.
And also, I like to shout out the performances of the two characters that were doing the smile thing at her meet and greet. The little girl and then that creepy guy who had something
Yeah.
wrong with his face,
Yeah. They were great.
who later she thinks she's at his apartment naked.
Yeah,
they had
taking
to
his
put
clothes off down the
they had
hallway
to
one
put
at
the
a time.
extras on it, show his like pissy shitty underwear on the ground.
Tiny whities with the shit
With
stains.
Skid marks, yeah.
But I was a little upset that because when I heard Kyle Gallner was back
Uh-huh.
for this one, I thought he was going to be involved a little bit longer than the opening
Oh
10
yeah,
minutes.
that was sad. That was
Yeah.
sad.
But that was a good scene because when he killed that guy, that was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I get what he was trying to do. He was going to pass it on to somebody that didn't deserve to live.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would have been perfect. And then he would have passed it on to the other mobsters, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's justice, right? That's like Venom style
But
justice, right?
it was a brutal kill because he was like, "Are you watching? Are you watching?" And then he just stabs and
Right.
stabs him, brings the knife
Yes.
up, takes it out, then slices his throat. And I was like, I understand why people say they kind of went hard in this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That
then,
was-
But then that
cartel
drug
style.
dealer's back there. But that drug dealer's back there watching him.
Yeah.
oh no,
I'm
that
just
was
here to, I'm just here to score, man.
yeah, which it worked out for him.
Right.
It's just that he should have been looking out for cars when he's running across the street. But then
Yeah, I
again, he was
know.
getting shot at, so
So,
Yeah,
all right. So
that's
he
true.
had the curse lifted and he was good until the car just fucking plowed through him, right?
Yeah, it was just unfortunate.
That sucks.
Nobody lives.
That came out of nowhere. That was the first jump scare that got me. Well, the
Yeah.
best one though, I think,
Well, you
was
saw it
when,
in the trailer. I just didn't know it was going to be him.
yeah. The best one I think was when she was talking to Gemma in the bed, and like
Oh
her
yeah.
her eyes and her mouth hit the headlights, and like
Right.
you hear a car horn, and and she wakes up.
That was kind of trippy. So
Yeah,
were they
that-
just
one
friends,
got
or
me
were they
good.
more? Hey, were they just friends, or were they more than friends?
I think they were just friends. I don't know.
Okay.
It
I'm
seemed
okay
like
that they left it ambiguous.
it kind of seemed like they were best friends, and
Yeah.
through her up and down past, maybe she did something wrong to her.
Yeah, for sure. Like leaving text messages, "Fuck you, cunt. I'll never
Yeah.
talk to you."
Because she seemed surprised
right.
when we
Uh-huh.
all thought she actually came. She seemed surprised that she
Yes.
was there
Yeah.
until later she gets the phone call of,
Right.
what are these text messages you keep leaving me?
Which looking back now we know, right? But
Yeah.
at that time we didn't. Which rope-a-doped us
Which even
in,
the
which
guy
is
that
cool.
cursed her from the drug dealer house, he was even saying the same thing, because when she came to his apartment, he was like, "Why are you here?"
Right.
And you text me to come here.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that until you just said that.
He was like, "I got your text. You said it was okay to come over." And he looked at his phone and he was like, "I really did."
He's like, "Oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
me." And we just thought it was because he was so high on fucking coke or ketamine or whatever he had spread out on the table there.
Hey, if you're going through demons and real curses and demons, do all the cocaine you need to.
And I like, yeah, you're fixing to die anyway.
Right. Live it up.
And I like that first scene because, like, well, it wasn't the first scene, but when the first smile kill, you know,
Yeah.
and the drug dealer's house, because it
Mhm.
kind of showed you what to expect with the insanity of what it's doing to your brain. Because like he even went in the room and then came back out and like had no idea where the fuck he was again.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, just all the subtle things that it says about mental health and like
Mhm.
trauma, and now you bring the substance abuse into it in this movie, and it's just like the trifecta, right? Of all the things that fuck us up as human beings.
The hair pulling was.
Oh man, I can't.
That was rough, man. And then her mom was like, "It's okay, they'll fix it. It'll look just like brand new.
Her
Now get
mom
out
was
on that
the
stage."
worst when she was like, "I open up your schedule, you'll have the day."
Yeah.
And I was like,
wow.
"Gee, Mom, thanks for the day."
I'm missing a chunk of my fucking hair.
What
Just
did
found me
y'all think about?
unconscious in my apartment, everything smashed, and you're gonna give me the day? Not even the day, because what, she had a concert later on that
A couple of
night.
hours. Right.
Well, she probably
It
thought
was
she had
the same.
another like drug bender or something.
Yeah, you would think that,
Yeah.
right? That was the setup. Did you guys think that the one guy was sincere, like the friend that wanted her to do the charity event, or did he have some ulterior motives going on?
He just seemed like a studio guy, producer.
Yeah. I didn't look too
Basically-
much into that.
Yeah, basically a stand-up guy, though, right? Like he wasn't
Yeah.
part of the
Well,
conspiracy or whatever.
Until that scene where she had everybody at gunpoint in the hospital, and he said something about think of your career or think of the tour or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's
Oh yeah, there's that
There it
money.
is, yeah. Well, in that scene where she was at the charity event and trying to give the
Right.
speech was super uncomfortable.
Oh, so awkward, man.
Well, you
Yeah.
knew
I
it was
mean,
going to
it
be
did a
bad.
great job of making me feel how uncomfortable she was.
You knew it was going
Mhm.
to be bad as soon as she smeared that lipstick right
Yep.
before she went on. I was like,
Yep.
okay, this
Yeah.
is about to be a show right here.
Yeah.
Shit show,
And
huh?
then the teleprompter stopped working.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
every star's nightmare, right? Show up for a charity event and it's all just scripted for you, and there's no script.
And
It's
she
like,
has a
I
she
really
has
don't
a,
give a shit about this charity, but
yeah, she has a mini breakdown up there, and then
Right.
finishes off with basically body slamming an elderly lady off the stage.
That was nuts.
Which
I
was
did not
kinda great.
expect that.
That was the part that brought me back. I was really uncomfortable. I was like,
Right?
I don't know if I like this scene. And then the old lady
Yeah.
hit the table, and I was like, all right.
Okay,
That
here
was
we
pretty
go.
awesome.
WWE style, huh?
Which, did you hear the guy in the bar when they recognized her? He was like, I watched the video you pushing that old lady off the stage like 50 times. It was hilarious.
Oh God, yeah. Has a lot to say, man. Like fame and infamy, right? They're all kind of
Yeah.
tied together now. All right. Anything else to talk about? Are you guys ready to call it a night?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So
good
Smile
movie, man.
2,
Very,
Smile
very
2,
impressive.
go see it.
That was worth
You were-
watching Ring 2 for.
Now you saw it in the theater this time, Philip?
Yeah.
Good for
I
you.
know. It was a shitty theater, but
Doesn't matter, dude. Hey,
Yeah.
shitty theater sound trumps trying to watch it on an iPhone any day of the week, right?
Oh yeah, I mean the screen and the sound was actually great. It was just the rest of the theater sucked. It was old.
Well, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Smile 2. As always, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. We would love to hear your feedback and ideas. Reach out to us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com. Next week, I don't know if I'll be here. I might be traveling. I might be in the air coming home from Houston, but I guarantee you we're going to have a Halloween party going on, guys, because we've got Tavares Ellis from Student of the Game podcast, our good friend, and we've also got Sean coming back, Shaun of the Dead, as I like to call him. So I guess Sean's kind of our go-to commentary guy, right? Brian, don't we typically
been on most of them?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
And we're going to be doing Halloween 5, the curse or the return of Michael Myers, or what?
This would be
Revenge.
Revenge.
Okay, I'll get it right eventually.
Why
So
We'll do the shitty curse one next year.
nice. All right, well, we'll be back. And until the horror returns again, everybody, good night.
Jazz hands.
It's weird.